sticking with us. Well, it is that time. It is time to announce the top 8. So, thank you so much for everyone being with us today, and let's go check out that top 8. So, I apologize a little bit for some of the names on here. Names are a little... Aquadome Champ, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody, from Aquadome Stream. All right, we have got your top-ranked F300XEN. That's Fox taking that number 1 seed. They're going to be going up the number 8 seed, Tempest Dragon King, at number 8. Then number 4 versus 5 is going to be Frafa versus Pleasing Sky 4. Number 3 versus 6 is going to be Lord Perth versus The Rock. And down at the bottom, we've got your number 2 seed, Ambivalent Thoughts, versus number 7 seed, Roshi. So congrats to Fox and Ambivalent Thoughts for going undefeated 5-0 through the Swiss, and congrats on all your top 8 competitors. Just a reminder, Portich, Apple Chips, and Ip Longno also went 4-1, missed on breakers today. They will still be receiving their 3 leaderboard points for going 3-1 today, but they will not be making it to the top 8. But here is your top 8 for today. So, we are going to be watching the Ambivalent Thoughts versus Roshi match. We've been watching it. We caught at the tail end of a couple of Roshi's decks, but we haven't been able to see too much of that, and we haven't really watched Ambivalent Thoughts yet today. So, we are going to take a look at that. So, before we dive down, while our players are getting ready for our feature match, let's take a look at Ambivalent Thoughts deck list. I think we took a quick peek at this deck list before, but I don't think that we saw it in detail. So this is Roshi's deck. This is that Xenon Ultimates deck. And then we also have the Xenon Heavy Shadow from Ambivalent Thoughts. So it's going to be a Xenon Mirror Boxer, but I don't know if you necessarily call this a mirror. These Xenon decks seem quite different from each other.
Yeah. So this one is not an even-handed Golem deck. So that's the biggest difference I first want to point out. And it's playing like Tazbu and Ikaria. There's also Vine Grafter in here, which is interesting over, Corendon Merchant or Ebon Dune Smuggler or something like that. And we have Fenris as well. Fenris hasn't always seen a ton of Throne play, but that's not because of power level. It's a very powerful card that's a threat early on, and if you expect the game's going to go long, you can just start paying 3 to draw cards. It deals some damage to you, but if your opponent's a slower deck, or doesn't pressure your life total, it doesn't matter. We also see At Any Cost. Unlike the Feln deck, this isn't trying to rush and get to 12 immediately, but it's more of an insurance for if the game goes long that you'll have a little extra reach.
All right, well, I think that our players are ready, so let's head down to the action. We've got the quarterfinals of Spring Challenge number 1. We've got Roshi versus Ambivalent Thoughts. Let's head down to the action.
This hand's not going to do it for Roshi. You can't keep a 1-power hand on the play.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Right, obviously, they're not still thinking about keeping this because we haven't told them to.
Yeah, let's tell our players that they are good to go here. And make sure that they get started here. And I will try to get that hand cam up for you as well as soon as possible. Okay, here we go. Told our players that they are good to go. Cut that name short a little bit up there. All right, they are good to go. Yeah, I don't think this is a keeper. Ambivalent Thoughts on the other side of things is looking at 3 power. Vine Grafter, Vara, and Ikaria. So I think that one is a keeper. What do you think of Vine Grafter? So Vine Grafter, kind of innocuous at first when it first came out, but then, it dominated the first Peasant tournament, and then we saw it a bit in Expedition, and now here it is in Throne. Is Vine Grafter just a solid card?
So I think there's definitely a debate to be had, but the success in Expedition, I don't know how much it transfers over to Throne. My problem with it is it's a better rate up front, but if you're marketing, you're spending so much more power than if you play a Merchant. And in an even deck, it's for sure the way to go. You can't play a Merchant, and you don't want to be playing Broker, at least if you're not trying to have the game go so incredibly long and really grind it out. So in even decks, like it's the obvious choice. In this non-even deck, I'd personally opt for Corendon Merchant or something, but I it's there there is a chance that's wrong and that you should be playing Vinegrafter because it blocks early threats from like Yetis, or I can even just semi-chump a Hojan. You give up the regen, but you don't take 4 damage. It's a tricky thing to get through, and it's unlikely they'll be able to kill it, so you can guarantee the market. It'll be a bit more expensive, though. The regen gets more valuable the more damage-based removal there is. Like, it's not okay. Obviously, it's better than nothing to put it on something like a Tazbu or a Karia, but you'd rather be putting it on a medium-sized unit.
All right, just waiting. There we go. All right, our players are ready. Sorry about that. Sometimes
That's a keep.
Sometimes there's a disconnect with getting the round started, but there you go. They are good to go. That's a keep, and we are off to the races. Let's do this.
Marius Mandrake is kind of like even-handed Golem 5 through 8 for this deck.
Sure.
And it draws cards a bit slower, but it's this extremely powerful 2-drop that will help you find what you need. So the question here is always, do you play the Mandrake into possible removal? And because you can play the ultimate unit first, that's, I think, the correct line. Like, Roshi's just thinking that they'll get to 4 power and be able to Mandrake and ultimate in the same turn.
All right, we saw those speed grafters in that earlier match really come into play, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes up again here in this match. Probably less so against a control deck, but it is nice synergy for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's not as big here. There's also deadly stuff for it to run into.
Yeah, that's true.
But Roshi's gonna get. Are they gonna get the Stranger, or are they gonna get the Azendel?
They're gonna get the Stranger
against other exploit decks, or I guess is Roshi even? I don't know. I forget if Roshi's playing against exploit decks. You don't always want to market for your high value card until a lot later in the game. Like, okay, Grown Up Stranger is still high value, but Azendel's obviously the big trump card here, and if you got that early, it could get exploited.
Just a note for anyone following who played in today's tournament or knows anyone, the team affiliations are voluntary. So if you see someone on there that should be a member of a team, or you see yourself on there and didn't let us know, just let us know in Discord or in chat or somewhere, and we'll get your team logo up there next to your name. We don't assume anyone is unless they tell us. So if you want to be associated with the team, definitely let us know, and we'll get you affiliated up there.
Ooh, that's rough. Not drawing the. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say no 5th power, but because of Marius Mandrake, that doesn't matter.
Right, drawing Arcanum Hourglass and Send an Agent here.
So Send an Agent is a great card in this matchup. Ambivalent Thoughts doesn't have any units in their deck that it doesn't kill. It can even kill Aramot on Roshi's own turn if they want, because it can kill attachments. Oh, wait, relic. Yeah, it's a cursed relic. Okay, it can kill relics, not just any attachments. And it's cheap, just that 2.
And there's that Aramod's Designs, and that's going to take care of both units on Roshi's side, and then attacking in with the Lifesteal 3/3. You did mention it last time. It is a little unfortunate here not having, kind of being stuck on 4 power there. Now, Roshi does have the Arcanum Hourglass this turn with a pair of Sigils in the Void, so Not going to last too much longer being power screwed, but it's a little awkward that Roshi had to get to this, turn 5 or whatever it is, miss their power drops, then play their hourglass, and then now they're kind of playing catch up on power.
Yeah, that's especially brutal when you're playing these 6 drops in your deck. Some Golem decks opt to just play a bunch of cheap stuff out. Others say Golem is, I guess you can't call it. It's fixing in the sense that if you draw cards, you'll end up drawing power. So you can afford to play less power but still get to higher counts a lot of the time. Although we're seeing the fail case of that here, so no golems means it's a little tougher to get to 6. But
there we go. All right. And now with that, though, Roshi did go from 4 straight up to 7 with that. So not too bad. Catching up. If you're going to catch up, that's the way to do it. Jump from 4 to 7. Get your stranger out there going. So that's exactly what they needed. So we got a pair of Icarias, a Trailmaker, and a Vara's Favor in hand for Ambivalent Thoughts. So here comes that first Icaria. Going to take care of that Grodov Stranger and attack in for 3 and their power there. But Roshi's got a full grip and now catching up on this power. So lots of options here.
I think you just have to kill the Icaria. You last chance the stranger, and just you just resolve to losing the Devour.
Yep, there you go. So gonna do that, send an agent. As you mentioned, gonna lose the Devour, but still a fine trade to get rid of that Icaria and get your Stranger back and attack again since that has charge. We've said it multiple times now, but I love this synergy of Speed Grafter into Stranger here, and getting it back from the Void. This just seems like a really sweet thing I want to try. So
that's kind of interesting. I forget exactly what was in their Void.
Yeah, I think they may have been out of power, but
oh, if they were out of power, that's fine. It's just you generally want to look if your opponent has. Roshi's opponent has Vara in their deck, so you don't want stuff in their Void. I know it can be tempting to say, oh, I'm going to increase my odds to draw something, but stopping Vara is a tangible advantage. You might not even notice the stuff being shuffled into your deck. It might not even affect the game. Stopping Vara is going to affect the game if Vara is ever drawn. And there's a lot of ways for Ambivalent Thoughts to draw Vara. Or, yeah, they have 8 market access.
All right, they're going Vine Grafter here, looking at Pale Rider's Timepiece, Azendel, or Kroll. That's the other reason for the shuffle, that Kroll, but Void Bounded now here. Gonna grab that Azendel. I think that's a safe choice. There's not really anything else that's super relevant here at this point in time. I'm just gonna pass. Nothing else really to do with that 4 power left over. They do have a Desert Alchemist, and they have that Devour.
So, one thing to consider is devouring, and if you draw ascend an agent, choosing to last chance the Grafter and sending the Icaria, because if you devour now and get send an agent, you'll be upset that you didn't get to play your last chance.
True. All right, here comes a Tazbu for Ambivalent Thoughts, and then attacking in with the Vara and the Icaria. Vara, clean block on the Vine Grafter because it still had regen, preventing the life gain as well, the life steal as well. But it was kind of a free attack for Ambivalent Thoughts also. 3-3 into a 2-2. And then Ambivalent Thoughts is going to go for the Banish, but Roshi going to get this Devour, going to blank that Banish and draw 2 cards here, including a Icaria of their own, and then Desert Alchemist end of turn.
I don't think you plunder here. I guess if you're going to hit their Icaria with yours, you do.
Yeah, no plunder there, but drawing a Crest of Mystery for the turn. Here we see that last chance, bringing back the Marius Mandrake to hand.
Oh, that's another good draw. Icaria is one of the best cards in this matchup. You're both. It's probably better for Roshi than it is for Ambivalent Thoughts because Ambivalent Thoughts goes slightly bigger. They're spending more on their threats, but it's still good for both players.
All right, Ambivalent Thoughts had At Any Cost was the draw there. That's pretty nice. You're at 9 Shadow Influence. So not quite there. You need the full 12. I appreciate Direwolf making the change to make these requirement costs a little bit easier to read than they used to be. So that's going to be, you can see a 12 there, not quite, but still a pretty good card with that life, with that three damage decay there. Ooh, another Akari off the top of Roshi.
That's a huge change. I forget whatever that cultist is with 3 of each of the 5 faction symbols.
Yeah.
When I first saw that card, I was like, how is this not causing eye strain for some people?
Yeah.
Okay, they can get Vara now.
Yeah, they can get Vara with that, and they do. There's Vara Fate Touch. Here we go. The big Vara herself. That's going to get back an Ikaria. Take out Roshi's Ikaria. No spells in hand. Just a Tokas waiting around.
Ooh,
that's good draws there, though, too. This is a battle of Ikarias going back and forth. So Roshi drawing an Ikaria of his own, going to take out Big Vara from Ambivalent Thoughts. And now pressure's back on Ambivalent Thoughts, attacking with a 7/7. All right. When Ayur hits the enemy player, draw all power from the top 10 cards of your deck, bottom the rest. If the enemy player makes you discard, play it from the void. So don't need to worry about that discard clause, but basically drawing 2 power there from the top 10 cards of the deck. All right. Fenris Nightshade, the draw for Ambivalent Thoughts. 4/3 regen. How did this get regen?
It got shuffled back, or it must have gotten it from a Vine Grafter and then gotten shuffled back.
Got it from a Vine Grafter and then shuffled back in. Cool. All right, well, here comes that plus the Tokas here.
Ooh, what's that gonna get? That can get a Dizo's Office or maybe a Silverblade Menace. I don't know how many spells there are.
Yeah, Dizo's Office. There you go. You can count the spells in a second, but Dizo's Office is a pretty good one. That's going to give everything lifesteal. And we're going to cut ties at Ikaria. Get out of here, Ikaria. Discard spells, which there aren't any in this. 5 cards in hand for Roshi, but no spells. And now the pressure's on. I mean, this is 9. Ambivalent Thoughts is at 9. And yeah, that's just going to be lethal. So Roshi's going to take game 1. So congratulations to the 7 seed Roshi taking game 1. But remember, all of these rounds are going to be still best of 3. No best of 5 here today. So Roshi's going to take that one. Yeah. He used to do that. Not anymore here. So let's head back. And we will have those players get ready. I'll keep an eye on the back tables. None of the other back tables have finished their matches quite yet, but we'll keep you updated on the bottom line as that happens. We're likely going to see those soon. And we are going to get back into here as soon as these players are ready. Once again, thank you everyone for sticking around with us. We really appreciate you sticking through all the technical difficulties and the long day with 60 players today, but we are excited to bring you this exciting season this year. Remember, the winner of today will qualify for the Spring Invitational, and the winner of that Spring Invitational will be receiving an invite to the 2021 World Championships. So, pretty exciting season this year. This is going to be one of the more exciting challenges we've had in a while, but they are ready. So let's head back down to the action and let's check out Game 2 of the quarterfinals, Roshi versus Ambivalent Thoughts. All right, what are we looking at here? Is this a keeper? Seems like it.
It has a golem.
It's got a golem.
And power to play golem. So, yeah, it's a keep.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an exaggeration that is. It would be very hard to find a hand I wouldn't want to keep that had a golem and 2 power.
Well, I do actually have an update from the back tables. Number 8, Tempest Dragon King, defeats number 1, Fox, 2-0 in their quarterfinal match. So, wow, congratulations, Tempest Dragon King, on upsetting the 1 seed going into the quarterfinals.
I don't know if it's updated yet, but I heard on Discord that Pleasing Sky is also, I don't know who they were playing against, but they're into the top 8.
It looks like you're right.
Top
it looks
4.
like, yeah, Pleasing Sky, number 5, Pleasing Sky, taking it over number 4, Frafa. So I'll get that updated on the bottom line for you. But yeah, big update there. Big upset for Tempest Dragon King.
this Ikaria isn't doing anything early on, but you don't mind having it in your opening hand in a matchup like this. It's unlikely one player will run away with the game that much before turn 5 or 6. And when it hits that time, well, okay, actually, here's one reason having, well, if you didn't have it in hand, they just takes doesn't negate the argument. Having it in hand early means you'll have it on turn 6, which you want it then so badly that you just don't care if it's taking up a spot of another card early on. Ooh, that's a great draw.
Right, Hourglass going to hit that for Roshi. That's going to help develop the power. Speed out this Ikaria and Vinegrafter in hand as well. You got Banish, Exploit, Tokas, and Trailmaker in hand for Ambivalent Thoughts with... It looks like, is that a Tazboo on top? Yeah, Tazboo on top of the deck for Ambivalent Thoughts. Not able to warp that out quite yet, but still a good card to have in hand. Now, Roshi needs to draw a little more action here, but they can go to the market. If this Vinegrafter lives, they can go to the market, grab something, but a little bit out of action other than just this Ikaria.
They need to draw action, but also I think there's enough removal in these decks that it's kind of the control mirror and the traditional way to determine who wins the control mirror is who gets to more power, because if you have enough card advantage, which both of these, which Roshi has a ton of and Ambivalent Thoughts has a lot of as well, then you just want power to play all your spells, and you'll just top deck a Grafter at some point and get to do, like, if you get to 13, you get to Grafter into Azendel in the same turn if you're Roshi, which means even power after 8, which wouldn't traditionally do a ton, is helping you. Although that can also just not be the case if Tazboo runs away with the game. But this is that free block Vinegrafter gets. Vinegrafter was essentially a 2/2 that gained 6 life this game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So,
All right, Marius Mandrake, the draw for Roshi. That's pretty good. Also, Silas going to grab a treasure trove. Going to start off with the treasure trove first and hit a speed grafter. That's also a good draw here. They're actually going to go with the speed grafter over the Mandrake here. Ultimate that's pretty good. Drawing another card, and there's an Ikaria drawing a card off of that Mandrake. That's a pretty nice turn here for Roshi.
Yeah, they can just take out that Tazboo next turn. Wait, what did they trade away?
They passed the other Mandrake away for the Grodov Stranger to give it with charge.
I guess they've already used the Vine and the Speed Grafter, so they don't have any more ultimates at the moment. I think that's an easy... Oh, actually, no, that draws a card. I was going to say that's an easy block on the 2/1 with one of your 2/2s, but Tazboo makes that not the case.
All right, Desert Alchemist here. Now I'm going to fire off the Ikaria now. Ambivalent Thoughts has an Ikaria of their own. And drawing a Vara here as well from the Tazboo trigger. And then a Tokas and then an Exploit. Wow, these Xena decks sure have good top decks, don't they? I guess that's what you get when you play a high cost ramp deck. Your top decks can have some power.
Well, Exploit can sometimes be a bad top deck, but in this matchup, when your opponent's playing a bunch of Grafters,
yeah,
you can just wait till they trade something, and unless they have, upwards of 10 power, you're going to get to grab it before they play it.
Absolutely. All right, so Roshi just going to chump block the Tazboo and then get a free block on the 2/1. Here comes that charged Grodov Stranger.
I don't think it's going to do it this game.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, does Ambivalent Thoughts just let that happen? Take 7?
If they don't,
you're at 31.
If they don't, you get to threaten a pretty easy 2-turn lethal if you...
Yeah, I think you just let it go. Okay. So Ambivalent Thought's gonna take that trade. I guess you draw the card off of Tazboo. You draw Fenris Nightshade, so they've got Baby Vara, Vara's Favor, and Fenris Nightshade in hand, but they've definitely got the board presence. Here comes Desert Alchemist. Take out the Tazboo, but Roshi's gonna drop to 12. Draw another card. And that's an Aramot. That's pretty good here.
Oh, they also get to finish off
Yeah,
that.
they get to use the
Mandrake.
Favor, to finish off the Mandrake. Can actually go either one of the 4 drops and the Fenris Nightshade here. We're going to choose the Vara. Nothing to sack means that's going to be a full-size Vara. And there's a lot of pressure coming next turn. Here comes the Ire, but Ambivalent Thoughts can just get past that. Plus an at any cost? Do they just have lethal here? 8, 9, 10 plus at any cost? I think so. Yeah, and that should just be lethal. That's going to be 10 damage plus an add any cost in hand. And that should be able to finish off Roshi. And Ambivalent Thought's going to take us to a game 3 here. All right, tying it up, 1 game apiece. Congratulations to Ambivalent Thoughts. This is what it's going to come down to. So the 2 matches that finished already, Tempest Dragon King and Pleasing Sky 4, they are going to play each other at the top of the bracket. So we are going to be able to see them here next. We're going to go right to that semifinal once this match is done. We also have The Rock up 1-0 on Lord Perth. So that one's still in the thick of it, but we will update you as those results come in. But we're going to stick right here. We're going to try to catch game 3 of Roshi versus Ambivalent Thoughts. Of course, winner of this gets to the semifinals. What do you think about this matchup? Do you think one of the decks, does the even deck have a slight advantage with the card advantage, or do you think they're fairly even? No pun intended there.
I think the even deck might have a slight advantage, but I also think whoever draws more Icarias is going to win. If they draw the same number, it's going to be the number of Tazboos Ambivalent Thoughts draws. But I don't think other cards in the matchup have as big of an impact as those. If none of those are drawn, then maybe Roshi has the slight advantage because of Golem, but it's just hard to come back from Icaria because Icaria is a 2-for-1 and it's a big tempo swing.
All right, Ambivalent Thoughts going to throw a mulligan back, and they're going to keep their backup 7. 4 power Vine Grafter, Vara's Favor, Vine Grafter. So Vara's Favor and double Vine Grafter in hand for Ambivalent Thoughts. But even handed Golem into Katra with Ascendant Agent, I really like Roshi's hand.
Yeah. They're just going to play that Hourglass here.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can find another Vow. It's weird to say that, that there's a lot of powerful cards in this deck, but Vow might be the best one with that Hourglass in play.
All right, Ambivalent Thoughts, Shadow Etching's the draw. They also have at any cost. They're going to fire that Shadow Etching.
What's weird to me is that they didn't just activate the Grafter instead.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to do that. Never mind.
That makes sense. The Hourglass, right? So send an agent, not something you see super often, but it's kill enemy unit or relic with 1 faction or less. So able to take out the Hourglass with that send an agent. So heads up play there by Ambivalent Thoughts. Here comes an exploit. A lot. I don't know if they're gonna like what they see. There's a ton here to take. I mean, you could just take the golems; they don't draw more cards, but Katra might be more impactful. You can take the Icaria.
I think it's the Icaria. Katra and Golem both provide some kind of card advantage. Icaria is kind of unique. Like Icaria and Send an Agent are removal. You don't really have a ton to remove yet, but when you do play something, you'd rather they play Send an Agent than. Okay, that play is weird to me because there's I guess there's 1 power in the void because the Hourglass never went off. Okay, that makes sense, but Katra's still gonna not do the most.
They have other card advantage options there, so it's a little interesting to go after the just one of the card advantage options. And here comes that Katra back with the last chance here.
Because like the theory is, I go after Katra and try and power screw them, but
yeah,
you have 2/2/2s in play. You're not ending the game fast enough to have that work. And ultimately, what's going to happen is you just took a less impactful card, and they're going to draw into the power because you can't stop them from drawing card because they draw a card every turn.
right.
And Golem, like Golem just finds power as well. Or they might not find another Ikaria. Ikaria is the unique card.
All right, attacking in, Ambivalent Thoughts attacking in with a pair of 2/2 Vine Grafters here. All right, at any cost, gonna decay, and lifesteal gonna be enough to take care of that Katra, which does have Voidbound. That one's not coming back.
Roshi doesn't care that much about that though. That Ambivalent Thoughts spent their turn killing a unit that already got some value from it.
All right, update from the back table. The 6 seed The Rock defeats the 3 seed Lord Perth 2-0. So the winner of this match, Roshi versus Ambivalent Thoughts, is going to take on The Rock in the other semifinal.
What can they even get here? What
else is left? So they got Aramot's Designs, Vara's Favor. They got a Silverblade Menace, a Diesel's Office, and a Big Vara. Let me grab Diesel's Office here.
That's the grab, but I don't think it does enough. You know about the Ikaria. So, like, not that you can choose anything. Like, Menace is just dealing some damage, but it's small. Send an Agent answers one thing. Or at least Diesel's Office forces them to use the Ikaria on it. But I don't know if you can... It's kind of a game of chicken now of will Roshi play the Ikaria out or save it?
Yeah, I love the second Ikaria draw here for Roshi.
I like this. Roshi's just activating Damara, grabbing probably Vara.
Oh yeah, grabbing Vara, that's huge. I love it. Give me the opening. I'm just gonna take it and take your Vara.
There's not enough pressure to punish that play. Where Vara can open it up, or not Vara, Ikaria can open it up for Ambivalent Thoughts to office the Ikaria.
Yep.
But right,
here's the exploit here, and Ikaria 1, Ikaria 2, or Vara. What are you taking here? I assume they're taking the Vara out.
Yeah, if you take the Ikaria, they just Vara it back.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately for Ambivalent Thoughts, the way that Eternals will work is that's now Roshi's Vara. It goes to Roshi's Void.
So a last chance could get that back.
Yeah, exactly. And Ambivalent Thoughts cannot get it back. All right, that Ikaria is going to take out the Vine Grafter with the regen still active, and then attack with the 3/1, and these are just going to trade. And now Ambivalent Thoughts, the only card in hand is a Diesel's Office they can't cast, and against a board where it would just die, but on at any cost for the turn, just going to pass it back because that's not really going to do anything here. And Roshi's going to take that opportunity to devour one of the golems.
And ramp a little bit with the mask.
Absolutely. Here comes that Stone Scar Vow. Going to put Roshi up to 10 power. All right. Speed Grafter here. This has been the card of the day, in my opinion. Speed Grafter going to go again to the market. Going to grab Azendel this time. Give Azendel charge. And I can see this.
But you can't play this. Yeah, you can't play this turn, but it makes the next turn that much more threatening. Like, you have to answer this board, and then you have to answer an Azendel.
Yeah. I mean, the at any cost can take care of the 2/2, but 2/2's done its work already. Roshi's totally fine with that.
I like not using that there.
And this is what you mentioned before, exploit here, but exploit can take out that Azendel, but still got this other Ikaria as well, and it's not really impacting the board, which is what's needed.
Because if you had activated Grafter on that turn, you would have had to trade away the Send an Agent for something that might be good, but Send is an above average card in your deck. So you'd rather wait till you draw something below average and use the Grafter. You have the power.
All right, now add a 7/7 to the board. And here's another one off the top. Roshi also drawn pretty well. It's nice. It's nice when you can just keep drawing these heavy hitters off the top here. Gonna come through here for Ambivalent Thoughts. He can use the Banish. That's gonna take care of the Vine Grafter, but this is still a 13-point hit. That's gonna put Ambivalent Thoughts down to 4. I don't really know what Ambivalent Thoughts can do here to answer the full board that Roshi has.
I don't think there's anything.
I think so.
Not even Ikaria would solve this. Even if you ignored the Ikaria in Roshi's hand.
Absolutely. Okay, well, congrats to Roshi on taking that one 2-1.